ever wondered why some people just seem to be so lucky? Maybe they've won the lottery or landed their dream job. One Wall Street Journal writer says she has the answer. Rachel Feintzeig, a work and life columnist, recently wrote an article entitled, "Some People Are Just Lucky. You Can Make Yourself One of Them." And Rachel is joining me right now. Good morning to you. This is an exciting conversation. Okay, what was your stroke of luck years ago that inspired all this?
So my stroke of luck is that I met my husband in the common room of a hostel in Barcelona, Spain. And it turned out that we both graduated from the same college a couple weeks prior, but hadn't really known each other there and met in this random place across the ocean. And so it did get me thinking, like, how does this stuff happen and what role can we all play in our own serendipity?
So, what is the secret to us meeting those meant to be connections and making things happen in our lives?
So part of it is just random chance. We can't control that, my husband just happened to be sitting in this common room, but part of it is in our control. There's this idea of changing your mindset that we can talk about, being more positive, open, resilient, connecting the dots. That just means kind of throwing stuff out there so that you can connect with other people. And that was certainly true in the case of my husband and I. And then just taking a chance, kind of asking yourself, what's the worst that could happen if I don't do this thing? Talk to this person, throw this idea out there.
There's a book out called The Serendipity Mindset. It talks about establishing deeper connections with people. So, what is the hook strategy? Can you talk about that?
Yeah, this is great. So the idea is instead of just introducing yourself to someone by throwing out your job, which is something that we all
Yeah.
do.
Like,
I've
what do you
written about
do?
this.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. Throw out three different things about yourself, and they can be random and quirky and kind of speak to your multidimensionality as a person. So some random hobby that you're interested in, something about your family. And the idea there is you're going to develop more meaningful connections. You also have a better chance of establishing a coincidence. I mean, in a way, like we do have all these dots that are waiting to be connected, but we need to kind of put them out there in order to see what we can attract our way.
That's so true. I've had conversations with people I've never met before. And because I share something that I wouldn't share with everyone, but I was just taking a chance at being open, I end up meeting people and having something in common that you would never have guessed. But what are some specific things that we can do that show that we can be that open, that vulnerable, or that flexible?
So one idea, and this comes from a professor in England who's been studying this for a long time, keep a luck diary. The idea there is write down good things that have happened to you. Also write down bad things that have happened to you in the past that are no longer happening. You're kind of reminding yourself of your own luck. You're going to be more positive, and it's going to rub off on other people. Our emotions are actually contagious. So you kind of build this aura of expansive possibility for yourself, and then that rubs off on other people, and they'll be more likely to make an exception on your behalf, introduce you to someone, fund your, new business.
It's so true. And there are lots of studies that show that emotions are contagious. Some of us, though, get stuck or afraid while pursuing a dream or being open like this. And then you face a roadblock because inevitably that's what life's about, right? Moving over these mountains. What's your advice on overcoming?
So what I heard from folks is you should think of roadblocks as actually not something that's out to destroy your grand plan, but something that is a detour that's becoming part of your plan. And it's true, you never know. I mean, I make this point in the story. I talked about meeting my husband. I had not wanted to stay at this hostel. I had had my eye on this hostel in Barcelona that was on the beach that looked gorgeous, and I was super bummed to find that it was booked. But the truth is, we never really know if something is a stroke of good or bad luck until we kind of see it through.
Yeah, and staying open and realizing that if you stay optimistic, you can climb any mountain. Rachel Feintzeig, thank you so much. We look forward to reading more of your columns soon. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.